1, 2, 3, 4. All
right, welcome back to Country and Cold Cans. I'm Logan sitting here with Trucker Andy and Kyle. Be sure to give us 5 stars and a great review on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Click subscribe while you're at it. And please also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to your search bar and type in @ColdCansCountry, and you'll see the podcast logo. Podcast is now available, and that will also be putting some clips and some extra content on there for you. Please subscribe to us and hit the alert bell. Check out the website, coldcansnetwork.com, for blog content, and you can get the merch on coldcanshatco.com. New hats and new t-shirts are available now. All right, Andy, you got back into town because we're going to be talking about this later in the show. The Muscadine Bloodline and American Aquarium concert on night 2 of Roadtrip Raleigh is this weekend, Raleigh, North Carolina. Both of you fellas are going to be joining me in the Oak City for that.
Indeed.
We'll be talking about a little bit of that, like I said, later in the show. But Andy sent a clip that we want to lead the show off with. Kyle, you haven't seen it. You don't have context on it yet. I just want to get your reaction on it because this is something that definitely applies to me and definitely applies to Trucker Andy. Probably not you as much, but it was kind of funny. So background quickly, Riley Green went on to Tracy Lawrence's podcast. If you haven't checked that out, you should. Tracy Lawrence interviews folks on his tour bus. It's a pretty good show. I've watched a handful of those episodes months ago. But here's a clip that they put up on Tracy Lawrence's YouTube page when he had Riley Green.
Day routine like on the road.
I sleep till I got to get up.
Me too.
until they make me get up.
That's what Derek does.
I sleep till noon every day if I can.
Man, my dad, when I was I quit playing ball, so I wasn't in college, and I was I guess I didn't really need a lot of money, but I was playing some shows and working a little bit, and he killed him. He wakes up at 5 o'clock every morning and would build a snowman if he was too he just anything. He can't sit still, and it just used to eat him alive that I would sleep all day. And he comes man, you're wasting your life. You don't understand how much enjoyment I get out of sleeping. That's not a wasted life.
And staying up all night.
And if I can get done at what I need to from 2 p.m. on, what does it matter when I get up?
100%. I stand with Riley on this. I've always said that. Whenever we had this big debate in society and we let the morning people control things and they decide that you're wasting the day if you don't get up at the ass crack of dawn to be able to get things done. I get just as much done late at night when other people are sleeping as they do the next morning. Andy, I want your take on this too, because I know you enjoy your sleep.
I do enjoy my sleep, but I've got 2 things that work against me while I would want to wholeheartedly agree with him. One issue is got to watch my sleep schedule or I will literally be staying up till the sun comes up and then literally sleep all day. And I don't like working at night. I prefer to work during the day. My sleep schedule doesn't agree with that. So yeah, occasionally I'll sleep. I can't sleep till 2. I can sleep till noon.
Yeah. And look, and for context, Andy's working means driving a truck. So I don't blame him for that. For me, doing if I could work at night, doing my computer work, whether it's for day job or the podcast, I would do it at night. I do most of the podcast stuff at night. Kyle, I know you're much more of an early riser.
Yeah, I get up at 5 o'clock every morning.
Riley's dad.
Yeah, he'd make a snowman if he could.
Yeah, I'm an old. However, you two also know that there's a 50-50 shot that I'm asleep by 10.
Yeah.
So Carter put me on blast. Didn't appreciate it. Watching the Royal Rumble. It was midnight. I was struggling to stay awake. To each their own. I mean, some people are more efficient at nighttime. Hey, if that's you, that's cool. I mean, and it works for your work schedule, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, because how many times have you said, you've texted us and you've been like, what the hell time did you go to bed last night? You texted us at 2 a.m. And I was like, yeah, I was working on shit for the podcast.
Yeah, Logan sent me a meme many a times at 1:53 a.m. I'm fast asleep, and I'm just and I'll be sitting on the toilet at 5 o'clock and respond to him, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing this late? Oh wait,
and I don't see that 5 a.m. response until probably 9:30.
Yeah, I'm so bro, what are you doing awake? I mean, hey, but I have, like I said, I'm a fence setter. I don't care what as long as it works for you and the people that pay you, hey,
Yeah, you
Cool
haven't
with
talked
me.
a lot of trash over the years about it. I will say Kyle definitely is a fence setter on this topic, whereas a lot of our other friends, especially back when we were younger and like I was living with some of them, man, I tell you what, they thought it was just like a badge of honor to wake up at 6:37 in the morning for no reason. It'll be a weekend, no reason. Unless they're just going to wake up. And they said to me one time when I came rolling down about 11:45, right before noon, they said, "You've wasted half the day." I said, "Well, I wasn't asleep the whole time. I was just laying in bed watching TV." They said, "Well, you just wasted the day not getting out of bed." And I said, "Well, what have you done today?" They said, "Well, I got up, took a
Sitting there
piss,
watching TV.
went, came downstairs, made a cup of coffee, and I've been sitting here watching TV." And I'm like, "You didn't do anything more than I did."
Yeah.
It's not like you went to the gym or you went for a walk.
I mean, I was the same way as both of y'all when I was in college. I slept all day, and it took me like a year of the real world to really get in that group. And then over the past 18 months, I've been going to the gym. So the best time for me to go is in the morning because I hate people. So there's no one in the gym at 5:30 in the morning. So I'm like, hey, what a better time to go than 5:30 in the morning? So I've been getting up. This is a very recent thing for me. I used to sleep in until the last possible second. But like I said, to each their own. I really don't, it doesn't bother me at all. Whatever works for you, whatever works for you.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Like,
I mean,
not everybody is as productive late at night.
I'm not. I want to go to bed.
Oh yeah, like there are many times I've been at your house on a weekend whenever I'm back in town, and I just end up getting up and walking away because Kyle
Yeah.
falls asleep in his chair.
In my defense, though, you got your start at 10 o'clock in the morning. I got mine at 5.
That's fair.
We're on a 5-hour different time schedule.
That's 100% fair.
So, I mean, hey, like I said, no fault, no harm, no foul. I mean, and Riley Green, he's a musician. He's most of his shows are probably going to. He's a headline act, so he's probably getting on stage at 9:30, 10. Anyway, he's not working banker's hours.
Oh yeah, that's 100%. But like that's where I think that I would love nothing more than for us to get some more sponsorships and be able to turn this into a full time thing, just because that would be how my life would be too. I have the same mentality as like the artists and big time like comics and podcasters have about not wanting to get up early. That would be ideal. However, that's not the reality for me right now. I still got to go to my day job. But now I will say about Andy over here. Andy's right about not liking to work at night, and especially when he's driving. But I will say that when he's at home and he's working on the truck, there are times that Andy can't go to dinner with us or can't hang out with us that evening because he'll text and says, "I got to work." And I'll be like, "Why didn't you do that during the day?" He goes, "Man, I didn't wake up till 12:30."
On the same
It's
time,
usually
though,
11.
on the same frame, the Turnpike show we went to.
Oh,
I
yeah,
woke up
at
at 6 o'clock in the morning, and Andy's walking out the door on like 2.5 hours of sleep we had. And Andy
Andy,
was I gotta go.
I have
was
a
like,
theory about
"Hey,
that
what
I wanted
time-
to run
what-
by you guys.
What time is it?
Because Kyle, I think that you and I don't directly know this, but I wanted to know your thoughts on the theory as a non-truck driver and trucker Andy's as an obvious truck driver. So I was talking to a guy that I know whose brother is a truck driver, right? And he just got to telling me lots of different personality traits that his brother didn't have before he became a truck driver, but now that he's been a truck driver for over 20 some years, the things that he is like kind of starts to do. And almost every single one of them, I was like, that sounds like my buddy Andy. I was like, and it's like one of those, that was one of the things. They sometimes just out of nowhere get up and leave. Don't really give an explanation as to where they're going or why they're going, but they just get up and go. And he's like, yeah, that guy was like, my brother used to not do this, but now he does. But what has he been doing all these years? Driving trucks. And then he talked about how one time they were on a trip, and one of the nights on the trip, he went and stayed in his truck instead of staying at the hotel. And I was like, that's another thing that my buddy Andy has done when we were in Nashville, Tennessee, and back a few years ago in 2018. I was like, we were walkable from Lower Broadway to the hotel. And Andy just decides he's going to go back and sleep in his truck. So that my theory is that, Andy, you guys spend so much time on the road and you're in the truck that you start to develop these habits that suddenly you get up and go out of nowhere, or You just sometimes go spend an evening in your truck because you're so used to being in there. And I get it. I guess it technically is your home most of the time. So what are your thoughts?
Before Andy
Nash-
goes, I would like to give my thesis on this. We all like to sleep at home. You know, there's no place like home. And I think you alluded to it, Logan. There is no place like home. So Andy's bed in his truck is better than any hotel bed. So if I were Andy, I sympathize with him. Yeah, I'd rather sleep in my bed in my truck versus a hotel bed. Am I wrong, Andy?
No, you're not wrong there. And when I'm in new places, I don't sleep very good at all.
Yeah.
So in my truck, I can sleep all night. I'll wake up in new places constantly through the night. But in Nashville, there was more of a reason for this. Logan wanted to eat at some shitty hot dog stand on the sidewalk. And I'm like, there's a 24-hour restaurant just over there. I want to go eat. And Logan
Andy,
did not
the
have
thing
it.
was,
I'm like, I'm
the
out.
thing was, I didn't want to walk all the way out of the way from where I was going to be staying, right? And I was going to be staying at the hotel. Andy went to the diner because he was going to the truck driver or his truck because he's a truck driver. I get it.
I was
but
going to go back to
I
the
even
hotel.
I even offered to pay for the hot dog because he was complaining about how much it was. And back then, Kyle, compared to now, it wasn't that much. But
I just didn't want a hot dog.
$2.
yeah, it was. I think it was Nashville, so it was probably like $3.50, $4, something like that at the
Didn't
time.
even look good.
It was street meat, man. It is not like that. It's going to be 5-star cuisine. It doesn't get a 3-star in the Michelin restaurant magazine.
But it wasn't a red hot dog. I only like red hot dogs. They're
Those are
superior.
those are unique to like Eastern North Carolina.
They're superior.
That's
They're
not a thing
unique.
anywhere else.
And they're unique, not only to Eastern North Carolina, like our area specifically. When you go
Yeah.
across the Virginia line, maybe like Emporia, Granville, was it Granville County?
Greensville.
Greensboro, yeah, Greensville.
Talking about
County.
Emporia. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get outside that area, they're just nowhere to be found. Because I know a guy who's from Newport News, and he moved here, and he was like, "What the fuck is a red hot dog?"
The
I was
best
like,
kind.
I was like, "You never had a Jesse Jones?" He was like, "No, I don't know. I like an all beef hot dog. I don't want them to do
Or
that."
even
I
like
was
a Valleydale is pretty solid too.
I was like, just be careful, man. You're speaking treason here. Better calm down. That's
I
slander.
didn't know that.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
very,
it's
they're
pretty
very specific
local to us where we grew up.
Yeah,
I thought everybody else was just dumb and didn't have good taste.
well, they are.
No,
but,
they're manufactured. I can't remember. We looked it up and we did an entire segment on Miserable and Reckless years ago.
Are
But
they in
there's like
Bailey?
a specific area where it was like invented and manufactured.
It's like Bass Farm. Bass Farm's a very local product. That
Yeah.
if you start to get right, Raleigh does. I don't know. I will say they don't. Does Raleigh have Bass Farm? I've never seen it anywhere outside of like our area. I know they're
Bass
in Bailey.
Farms.
I know they're in Bailey.
Let me look that up. I don't know. Bass Farms.
That's what everybody
Sausage.
around here uses.
Yeah, they're in Bailey, North Carolina, which is like right east of around 64, east of Rocky Mount.
Like, admittedly, I don't buy a lot of sausage when I'm cooking, so I don't know
Yeah.
what brand sausage is made when I'm back home and other people are cooking breakfast.
So
So
Bass Farm and nothing.
I know
bigger.
I've probably had this. It's not something that's not on my grocery list whenever I go to the store.
But I mean, shit. Bailey had never heard of Bass Farm until we started dating. I was like, "How dare you buy damn Jimmy Dean? What are you doing?" Bass Farm is infinitely superior. Don't ever do
Yeah.
that again.
Oh, look, I believe
thank-
it. I probably have had it.
Yeah, thank you for listening to my TED Talk on Eastern North Carolina cuisine.
And next
Pork.
week, come back and we'll tell you about Eastern North Carolina vinegar-based pulled pork barbecue.
Oh, it shits on the Western NC barbecue.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But
Suck
anyways,
it.
that's a topic for another day because we could go down a rabbit hole on that. But yeah, Andy, red hot dogs definitely are a thing around our area. But well, Andy, so would you agree that there are some habits people pick up from being a truck driver like that?
Yeah, because I can say, like, as far as getting up and leaving, it's very common to have a very in-depth conversation with someone for 2 hours. They'll know everything about you. Don't know each other's names. Never say. Just get up and leave. Very common.
Now, is that because you never said your name or because like I know I've talked to people before and then 2 minutes into the conversation, I just don't remember their name. But
No, you never say.
oh,
Well,
So Andy-
you're never going to talk to them again, but you'll tell them your entire life story in detail. Don't know the guy. You won't know each other's names.
So you have mastered the Irish goodbye.
Because some people also, you'll learn, just won't shut up, so you just leave.
Interesting. Are they
Fair.
never mind, I'm not gonna go there.
my younger brother does that. He's not a truck driver. He did that the other week. He literally was sitting there talking to me and my mom and my dad. We're having a very nice conversation for a while. And then he just throws his hands up and goes, "My word count has been hit. I have to leave." And then he just storms out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like something like Elon Musk would do.
He did. I was sitting there. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Did
Max
that just
compute,
happen?"
I'm out.
My word count has been hit. I'm out.
Then he just stands up and walks out and goes home.
My mom would be furious at me if I did that.
Yeah, I mean, look, people would be mad at me if I did that, but my brother has just been that way since he was a kid.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's accepted at this point.
Yeah, he's a known quantity.
Yeah. Which I mean,
That's
look,
hilarious.
I've said it before.
I'm done.
The reason that I think that I've been friends with Andy and Classic Rock Carter as long as I have, because they do have some similar personality traits to my younger brother. All of them can be like what Kyle and I would say is rude, but they don't think they're being rude and they don't mean it as being rude.
Kyle
Very-
can do that.
Thanks, Andy.
I would generally say Kyle's not that rude.
But Kyle can be extremely heartless to people.
But that's a different thing altogether.
I'm
Still rude.
only heartless to people that make me ill.
Well,
Andy, would you dispute that? I'm curious.
What's the first thing you say to people when you meet them?
Hello.
you're going to
Know
grow
what
to
you're
resent me
saying.
soon.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Hi, I'm
I think
Kyle.
that's
You're
in
gonna
your-
resent me. Yeah. I mean,
I think it's in your definition of your introduction.
but it's mostly true. They will
Hi,
grow
I'm
to-
Kyle.
they-
You're not going to enjoy this over time.
Yeah, you will go to resent me. I mean, that's mostly true though.
The funny
Because
thing is, he
mostly
always
I'm at
says
the
this to our
roots.
buddies' significant others when they first started dating. So,
Yeah.
like when they start dating a new girl, Kyle's like, "Hi, I'm Kyle. You're going to grow to resent me soon."
Yeah, I told Chase that. I've told Selena that. If I ever meet Andy's girl in Colorado, I'll tell her that.
Andy, so you making up random states for Andy having a girl now?
Is it? Oh, Kansas. That's what she said. Kansas, not Colorado. I'm sorry. My apologies to the. What are you if you live in Kansas? Are you a Kansasan?
Kansan.
Kansan.
Right,
Okay.
Jayhawk.
Well, don't tell
I think they refer.
Don't
Don't
say
tell the
that.
Wildcat contingent that in the
Yeah,
little
yeah,
apple of
no.
Manhattan.
Yeah, don't.
It's
No.
the state motto, I think.
Yeah, but people in North Carolina technically calls their citizens Tar Heels. There's a 0% chance you'll ever hear me refer to myself as a Tar Heel.
Nope. No, same.
I refer to the state as a Tar Heel state.
Yeah, but you're not a Tar
But
Heel.
it is different in the sense that how it's spelled too. Tar Heel being one word versus Tar Heels being two words, capital T, capital H. That's the basketball team, football team, terrible university, can't stand them. Hashtag GTHC, go to hell, Carolina. But I will
Based off
never
a
refer to myself as a
Confederate-
Tar Heel.
Based off a Confederate army.
That's true. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
We're
just
only
saying.
asking questions.
Yeah, just saying. You know,
Why have they not changed their name?
it's a good, valid question. Yep. They support the Confederacy. Is all I can say.
That's what I'm hearing. Carolina fans basically equals Confederates.
Yep. I mean, yeah.
Huge
so-
if true.
Yeah. Huge if true.
Breaking. All right. So speaking of debates, right? So there's been this debate going around the last couple days on Twitter, country music Twitter specifically. It's a two-pronged debate, I would say. And I wanted to get everybody's take on this. And admittedly, I will say that as Kyle has said about himself, sometimes I can be a massive hypocrite. If you don't believe in evolution of thought, because I definitely have changed my opinion on this over the years. But the debate is, should you be able to wear a band's merch to their show? We'll start with that one first. The second question being, Should a band be able to wear their own merch? But let's start with, if you're a fan and you're going to say this weekend, we're going to see American Aquarium. You have an American Aquarium shirt. Should you be allowed to wear that shirt to their concert? Open it up for discussion here, boys. What are y'all's thoughts?
It's America. You should be able to wear whatever shirt you want to.
Last I checked, it was America.
Yeah. Well, so here's my opinion. I don't think you as a this is where I have a hypocritical opinion. I'll be the first to admit this. You as an adult male should not go to sports events with another man's jersey on. I'm sorry. It's cringe. It's cringe.
There's a lost episode of Tailgate Season where Kyle went into this in detail. I disagree with him mostly on this, but
it's cringe. It's cringe. No, I'm sorry. You can't. No, you can rock a jersey with your last name on it. That's acceptable. No, as an adult, no. Little kid, you're fine. It's like
I've always said though that I think that wearing a classic
no name on the jersey is acceptable.
Disagree. If they're older than you and you grew up watching them, it's totally in the clear.
Okay, I'll give you a caveat there. You cannot wear a current athlete's jersey.
Admittedly, I wear a Philip Rivers jersey.
Yes. Okay.
He graduated 13 years before me.
I'll concede that point. You can't go in there and rock it in a KJ Concepcion jersey.
KC, but yeah, I get your point.
Whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, because I'm like over a decade older than that guy.
Yeah, that is questionable. As far as a concert or a band merch, who cares? You're not rocking some other dude's name. Show and support. You go to an event. I mean, I don't see any problem with that.
But you kind of, so technically you are rocking another dude's name if it's a solo artist. Like if you're wearing it, if you're going to see Eric Church and his band merch says Eric Church, you are rocking another dude's name on the shirt. However, I think it's more.
But most of those shirts are tour based, so you can be like Sinners Like Me, or
could be, but they also have like cool merch.
Yeah,
my Wade Bowen shirt. My Wade Bowen shirt has a name tag on it that says Wade.
Yeah, no, I will say it's more analogous to wearing. Say if you're going to a Duke basketball game and you're a Duke fan, and you're wearing a Duke shirt or a Duke hoodie or a Duke polo. That's what it's more like, wearing a band or an artist's merch to the show. You don't tell somebody at a sporting event, hey, you're coming to see NC State and Duke play. Why are you wearing their merch? You know what I mean? Whereas I think it's more like that than the jersey argument.
But at times though, I will say it does feel a little super fanny, a little over the top.
It does. And I admittedly years ago, I was vehemently against it. I used to think you should not wear that band's merch to the show. However, the more I've, read other people's opinions and listened to what the artists have to say, I've changed my opinion on this within the last 2 or 3 years. I think that now, if you're that big of a fan and you want to wear their band merch to the show, go for it. I've done it once, but I used to be a big advocate of, and I did this actually. When I went to an American Aquarium show, I wore a Turnpike shirt. When I went to a Turnpike show, I wore an American Aquarium shirt. I used to do things like that of similar artists.
Yeah.
But now, like, I admit that I've done it before. I've worn an American Aquarium shirt to an American Aquarium show. I don't have a problem with it anymore. The more I got to thinking about it, the older I got, I was like, it doesn't make sense to be vehemently. Yeah, the less I cared about it. I was like, it doesn't make sense to be against this.
What was your argument against it when you were against it?
What you just said is it feels a little bit like fanboyish.
Over the top.
Then I kind of realized, hey, I've seen American Aquarium over 35 times. That in and of itself is over the top. Who am I to point at someone and be like, hey, stop being a fanboy when I've seen a band that many times?
Yes. Look, respect the self-awareness.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, I'm pretty brand agnostic. I don't wear like, other than like Carhartt and Duluth, I don't wear like specialty shirts. You can check me. Any picture you can find of me on the internet. I'm not rocking a brand shirt other than those two.
I don't know what I think.
I don't really care.
I've got a weird thing. Like if I'm wearing like a Carhartt like jacket or vest or whatever, I don't like wearing my Carhartt toboggan with it because I feel like it's too much Carhartt and I look like I'm sponsored by Carhartt and I just don't like it.
Well, you've got another man's name, to Kyle's earlier point, on your hat right now.
He's dead.
I realize that. However,
Who is that
It is
brand? I
Lane-
barely see it.
it's Lane
Lane
Frost.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's a cool brand. Like I recommend it. The hats
it's a
are
cool
sick.
Logo. Yeah, it's a cool
Yeah.
logo. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
Like in the motorsports world, it's very common. Like the shirt is going to have the guy's name on it. That's just standard. Everybody does it.
Yeah, of course. Like Andy, I've seen your Kyle Larson shirt. Like it says
Yeah.
Kyle Larson pretty plainly on it. And we're from North Carolina. Let's not pretend like we haven't seen a plethora of Dale Earnhardt and Dale Jr. merch out there, and it has their names
Jeff
and their
Gordon.
Yeah,
They're,
Jeff Gordon.
car numbers on it.
Yeah, I don't really have much of an opinion.
I
on
do
that.
think though, if you're wearing a band hat and a band shirt,
It's a bit much.
well, bit much. You look like you're
Bit
with
much.
the band. Like you're trying to look like you're with the band. It's too far.
It's like you're trying to be a groupie of the band at that point. I do agree
the
that's
other-
a bit much.
Yeah.
But I will
It'll be
say
full-
a hat and a koozie or a shirt and a koozie acceptable. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I would
that's
also
acceptable.
say this conversation applies almost exclusively to men. Women can get
only
away
because
with anything.
only because women can get away with it.
Yes.
Yeah. Like nobody's going to say anything to a girl for wearing all out band merch to the show.
No. Because most times they're gonna cut the shirt up and
And I'm not saying it's fair, I'm
Bedazzle
just
it.
saying that's the reality of it.
yeah. Be cool, guys. So
Now, what about the flip side of that? Is the second point that people have been talking about. Should a band be allowed to wear their own merch?
that looks kind of cringy. You should wear like a I think I'm not in a band, but if I was in a band, I would wear a funny ass shirt or a funny outfit. A lot of the great rock bands.
Well,
of the
I'm not
80s
necessarily
wore
saying being on
clever.
stage. I'm talking about just in general. Should they be able to, if they're just not on tour, or they're just at home, or they're going out to Walmart, should they be able to wear their own merch?
Yeah, in public, yes. You got to promote your, you got to promote your stuff. It's no different than a
I was
bit-
wondering, 'cause
no,
I was going to say,
no
maybe
different
this
than
is why Kyle refuses to wear the Country and Cold Cans hat that we gave him a couple years back, Andy.
no. It's that to me is no different than a business owner rocking his own gear all the
Yeah.
time.
Or
And
teams wearing
that's my
team
point
gear.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
So that it would be very hypocritical of me to tell somebody in a band they can't wear their own merch when I wear Country and Cold Cans hats all the time. But now I will
but
say
you
I don't wear the hat with the shirt. I have to alternate. Like I grab my ping golf hat whenever I wear one of the Country and Cold Cans shirts.
Right, but you don't wear the Country Cold Cans T-shirt to a business meeting.
No.
Yeah, right. That's my kind of my point. Like
I would wear my Country and Cold Cans polo.
right. It's still a polo. But I mean, yeah, you're out and about. Yeah, that's totally acceptable. But like on stage, I think it pushes like, hey, please buy our shit really hard, and it kind of looks bush league.
I somewhat think it depends on what stage you're at. One, like on stage, it's pretty common for people to have band banners. The name's generally on the front of the big thing on the drum, whatever that's called.
Bass drum.
It's pretty common. Yeah. So it's common that it's up there. So like I feel like it'd be kind of weird for like, I don't know, Kenny Chesney to be on stage wearing a Kenny Chesney t-shirt and walking around town in a Kenny Chesney t-shirt.
Yeah, because his whole operation is a machine at this point.
Yeah, like when you're that big, it gets,
He's getting ready to play Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. He's out there rocking Blue Chair Bay hat on stage. He's wearing a Kenny Chesney tour shirt with the sleeves cut off. I get what you're saying.
It's like when you are the brand, I think it'd be a little weird to be wearing it. Like Morgan Wallen wearing a Morgan Wallen shirt. Like everybody knows who you are. But for smaller people, I mean, I think it makes more sense.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, that's where I was curious what y'all's takes were going to be because it's Kyle. I mean, it's like you said, if you're a small business owner or even a big business owner, you wear your company stuff. I mean, we wear the Country and Cold Can stuff. I wear it all the time. And then, we have friends that will wear Country and Cold Cans gear a fair amount. We have one buddy in particular that wears it all the time. Shout out the free promotion. Another one that he would be mad at us if he happened to listen to this episode and we didn't say it. Anytime he's drinking out of a koozie, it's a Country and Cold Cans koozie. He always posts it on Instagram and tags it. Shout out our guy. But He gets mad if we don't ever give him the credit on the air, so we're giving him the credit.
Shout out Cookie and Clint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I would agree with Andy's
we do
point.
need to get Cookie a new hat, and that story for why Cookie needs a new hat is behind the paywall. But
Big paywall.
Trucker Andy definitely needs to get Cookie a new hat.
Yeah.
Oh, is this a trip to Greenville?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm kind of with you on what you were saying with that.
Yeah, I agree with Andy. It depends on the size of the artist. Be kind of cringe.
You don't want to.
Eric Church go out in front of 50,000 people rocking that Eric Church New Tours shirt.
It starts to become egotistical when you're that big.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
No, it definitely becomes egotistical. Granted, if you're that big, you probably already do have that big of an ego.
Yeah, wearing the shirt just lets everybody know.
Yeah. But at the same time, like if you really look at, and I've always said this about all artists, and then this is not me talking shit. This is just making an observation. All artists kind of play a part, so to speak. The mainstream big stars have stylists that dress them, or they have like different things they all do. Like Kenny Chesney rocks the cutoff shirt. Eric Church rocks the sunglasses. However, a lot of the independent artists do the same thing. They dress a certain way. You're trying to tell me all these folks in the Americana world that dress up like it's 1965, or that's how they've always dressed, and it wasn't just because of the career choice? Sorry, don't buy that either. But
no, I buy it because
I don't get
hipster,
mad about that.
And they've always been a hipster. That just happens to be the hipster dress.
I guarantee you they did not always dress that way. Guarantee you they did.
Well, hipster style.
And I'm not saying they're wrong for it. I'm just pointing out it's the same thing as what the bigger artists do when they wear specific stuff.
I would agree with Logan. Yeah. Everybody's a poser in their own way.
Yeah. I mean, look, we probably have done that to an extent. I don't know how, but if I sat down and really thought about it, we probably would come up with something.
That's one of my biggest fears in life is being a poser. Like, I rock my specific style because if I ever changed it, everybody would be like, wow, look at this poser. And I'm like, I don't want to be a poser. I don't. That was how I felt when the first time I ever bought a vest like Andy's wearing right now. I was like low key worried about wearing it. Like people were going to be like, why the fuck is he wearing a vest? You don't wear vests. I'm still
now I just don't care. Now I just don't care.
They're so comfortable.
They are. I like them. If I like it, I wear it.
Still scared to this day. Can't do it. Nope. Every time I look at that poser. I can go to Las Vegas and everybody be like, wow, look at that poser. I'm like, oh, don't be that guy.
Yeah. Like Andy wore one of them a while back, but I bought a couple of shirt jackets, the shackets.
The shacket?
Looks like
what now?
Yeah, a shacket. It looks like a flannel shirt, but on the inside is the FERPA. It's a coat. But
okay.
I used to, years ago, I wouldn't have bought one because I thought people would be like, oh, why is he wearing that? But then I was like, you know what? I like this and it's really comfortable. And when it's a little bit cold outside, you wear a t-shirt underneath. It works.
Okay. Yeah. My style's been the same for probably close to 10 years. And I'm scared to change it.
Jackets are practical.
They're very practical.
It's a step above a shirt, step below a jacket. It's a temperature setting.
It is. It definitely is.
A shacket. That's a new word. Never knew that. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's basically a thick shirt.
Oh yeah.
It's a very thick shirt.
Yeah. Okay. They're very similar to my Carhartt jackets then.
Yeah. If you've had Carhartt makes one that's like it snaps up and it's fleece lined.
Yep.
I've got one of those. Very practical. Actually, those that's a shacket. They may be my favorite.
Okay, so that's a shacket. Interesting.
I will say I don't wear Carhartt though. And I feel like I don't wear Carhartt because I don't work in blue collar stuff. And I feel like people that work in blue collar would look down on me for wearing Carhartt.
Wait, we've all seen that funny ass meme, haven't we?
Yeah. I feel like people would say I'm that meme because I work at a desk in an office. Like, why do you have Carhartt kind of thing? So I don't.
But at the same time, Carhartt makes good quality products at a good price.
And the hipsters have taken over Carhartt, if we're being honest.
They have, yes.
So,
You can get away with Duluth.
Duluth Trading Company.
Duluth's
Yeah.
expensive though.
I get their
Oh,
YouTube ads a lot.
God, I love Duluth. I rock nothing but their draws. Please sponsor us. Shameless
Yeah,
plug.
what is it that their boxers are called? It's
Buck
the
naked underwear.
Buck Naked Underwear. Yeah, I've heard
It
the
does
radio
not-
ads for that in the past.
Does not matter if it's 1,000,000 degrees outside. No chafe.
They're so expensive.
God, they're the best thing in the world.
It sounds like they'd be the perfect underwear for golfing during the summer.
Yeah, they are. Hey, golf trip, baby. Nothing but Duluth underwear.
Buck Naked Underwear.
I have the ad on my refrigerator downstairs. Y'all check it out next time you're here.
All right.
I'm a loyalty rewards member.
That's Country and Cold Cans Fashion Hour. Started as a debate, ended up us talking about our favorite brands of clothing. All right. So, like we said at the top of the show, this weekend is Road Trip to Raleigh. For those that are not familiar, it's the annual show that American Aquarium plays at the Lincoln Theater in downtown Raleigh. They're the band's hometown, where they have people from all over the country, some from other countries that come in. Started as a 2-night affair back when they dropped their record Wolves in 2015 as the Wolves album release party. Andy and I went. We saw an awesome lineup, as we said a couple weeks ago, of John Moreland, Turnpike, and American Aquarium. Kind of was like opened the door for us jumping headfirst in this music about 9 years ago now. Wow, now that I think about it. But that I've been every single year to at least one night. Andy's been to a handful of years. Kyle's been to one. My brother has been to, I want to say every year but the first. And as of right now, it looks like that, me, Andy, Kyle, and my older brother are going to be going on Friday night this year to see American Aquarium and Muscadine Bloodline and Gabe Lee. Gabe Lee put out a fantastic record a while back that I highly recommend. And then anybody who's a regular listener here knows how big of a fan of Muscadine Bloodline that the three of us are. Kyle and I had them quite near the top of our top 5 records of the year. So, Andy, Kyle, if y'all want to talk about like what songs you want to hear, or Andy, I mean, you've gone to this multiple times now. What are some of your favorite things about this weekend, or just like places or bands you've seen? Any just like cool things you remember? But kind of open it up. Andy's laughing because Andy's like, I don't know if I remember it all.
That was exactly why I was laughing for that exact statement. I heard Jamie Lynn Wilson was put on a great show. I mean, I honestly couldn't tell you, but I was there, allegedly. The lineups are usually pretty rock solid. Very excited to see Muscadine. I really only got 3 Muscadine songs, or maybe 4, that I really want to hear. I want to hear Life Itself, Teenage Dixie, a former what I would call guilty pleasure songs. I want to hear Porch Swing Angel. And then I would be good on alternate Warehouser Land or Low Hanging Fruit. I'm good either way on that one. They have to play one of those. It's the newest release.
Yeah, I'm with you on all those songs, and I would add in what used to be for me, I would call a guilty pleasure song, but a song that I just openly love now is Pieces. They had Lainey Wilson on background vocals on that, but I love that song by them. Definitely want to hear that. I also kind of want to hear some of their stuff from 2 records ago. Wasn't Teenage Dixie and wasn't the 16th Avenue record. It was the one right before that. One of them being the song that they did as a duet with BJ Barnum, Ain't Just the Van. I think that would be a fantastic one that is probably likely, I would say, since
I'd say almost guaranteed.
BJ's going to be there. It would only make sense, And then the record from 2020, Burn It at Both Ends. One that is a little bit more in the pop rock country kind of vibe, but I really, I fuck with this song is Drunk Tattoo. If you haven't heard it, I really like that song. Even if it doesn't necessarily fit in sonically with a lot of the stuff that I listen to. But that's one of them. Those are 2 from that record that I would like to see.
I think they'll play Pieces.
I think so too, because that's a huge song.
On Popular, that's number 1 on their Spotify.
Yeah, I've contributed to that having almost 54 million streams at this point.
Well, I believe after the first time I went, was it 2018?
I want to say it was around that time.
Yeah, that's right around the time I joined the podcast. Went to go see American Aquarium. Who else was there? I can't remember the year. We showed up
I'm going to
late.
be honest. I've been every year. The
Yeah, they
lineups
blur
run
together.
together in my mind trying to remember.
Well, me and Andy were in the same state of mind, so I couldn't tell you. There's one song I really want to hear. I want to hear Named After Natives. If they don't play that, I will be crushed. It is my favorite song by them. I also would love to hear Azalea Blooms.
Oh yeah.
Anything other than those two, I'm content with. All the other stuff, but I really want to hear Named After Natives.
Azalea Blooms was the one that I think BJ was. Yeah, him and Gary Stanton wrote that together. So they might would play that too. There's a good shot on that one. The two that I would really like to hear, I would love to hear most of Teenage Dixie, but the two, because Andy already said Teenage Dixie, obviously the title track, but Inconvenience Store would be hype.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. Yeah,
and then also Evan Rudin, because I really just want to scream about a Hardee's biscuit while I'm there.
You do love the local shout outs.
I do.
Yeah.
Shout out Hardee's breakfast. But yeah, Inconvenience Store would be pretty hype.
Yeah.
What do you think we'll get out of American Aquarium?
That's the thing, man. So just so you guys are aware of how they've done it over the last few years, they play 3 nights in a row. So it's a good mix of stuff from way on back. Like they've even gone back to that first record, Andy, Antique Hearts from 2006, and brought stuff back from that. The Bible in the Bottle, they brought stuff back from that. Like you just keep on going and going and going. And however, it depends on what night you run. It's going to be always a mix of a little bit old, a little bit at their, I guess, come up era, and then a little bit new. There's going to be, and then there's a few songs that are almost always on the set list, such as Casualties and I Hope You Break Your Heart and Wolves and Lonely Ain't Easy. I think those 4 are almost always played.
I have seen a set list without I Hope He Breaks Your Heart, and that's one I really want to hear. It's travesty not to play that every time they play.
Especially at home, too. I don't think that one has ever been skipped in Raleigh because that's just a huge one.
I also really want to hear Jacksonville.
I want to hear Jacksonville, too. Have you,
they used to play
you
that
remember
a lot,
how he does
they?
that live? Oh, yeah. They used to be in the set list every time. Have you ever seen him play that live that you remember?
I know I've seen it. I don't know that over time, I don't know that I remember it.
The song starts off so like low key, like it is, but then by the time he gets to the end, his veins are bulging in his neck and he's screaming, and the band just starts shredding away. It's pretty awesome to see live. Like that's where Kyle probably can attest to this better than anyone. Andy and I have always used the old cliche referring to American Aquarium to our friends. We're like, look, you may or may not like their music. However, you got to see them live. If you see them live, you have a different appreciation for them because the energy at their shows is pretty up there. Like BJ, to his credit, I will say never mails it in on the energy he gives to the audience. And there aren't a lot of bands that don't have those nights that they just pack it in. They're a band that you have a better appreciation after seeing them live than you do just listening to the studio songs on Spotify or Apple Music.
Yes, 100%.
I love Jacksonville.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Do they lose us out of 25?
They play that a lot. I think there might have been a couple times recently where there was one night they didn't play it. But there are like a core group of songs that they almost always play.
Well, I hope
we go on the night.
That's going to be the final.
I hope that we go on the night that they have a large mix of old songs mixed in.
Yeah.
Just because I don't mind some new stuff mixed in. Like I like their new stuff, but that 2012, I wouldn't even go back further than that. 2009 to 2016 era, 2018 era even is like my favorite string of records from them. So it's like, I kind of like, I hope it's dominated by that stuff, but you never know.
Mm-hmm.
We're going on the second night of 3, so.
I'll admittedly say I don't know much from Chickamauga.
I don't know as much from that one either. I know the songs if I hear them, but I couldn't start naming them. You know what I mean? But I will say, Andy, how lit would it be if he breaks out Manhattan?
Yeah, I do like some Manhattan. I like.
That's one we haven't heard in forever.
The Bible in the Bottle, Small Town Hymns,
Burn, Flicker, Die.
Burn, Flicker, Die, and what's the one with I Hope He Breaks Your Heart? I know what the album cover looks like. It's the gold one.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites. Dances for the Lonely.
Yeah, Dances for the Lonely.
Dude, I hope he plays City Lights when we're there.
Oh, PBR Promenade.
Oh yeah, PBR Promenade, Tennessee. We could probably sit here for another 10 minutes just naming songs off those 4 records. Be like, oh yeah, hell yeah. It's like that group chat where it says, sorry, babe, I can't come out tonight. Me and the boys are just naming random athletes. I think he's like, sorry, me and Andy are just naming random deep cuts from American Aquarium from 5 to 10 years ago.
I feel pretty good about Abe Lincoln.
Yeah.
Being played.
Yeah. That gets played a lot.
Screw
I like that.
daddy.
You know, it's we've talked about it on here. That's a cover from the Backsliders, another Raleigh band in the alt country scene that came well before American Aquarium.
I know that.
But yeah, it'll be a good time. Looking forward to it. If you guys are going, shout us out on Twitter. Send us a DM. We'd love to meet some of the listeners while we're out there. You know, and let us know what songs you want to hear. I mean, I want to say, hey, isn't Cookie coming, right? I want to say he told me he was. We know Cookie's a listener. He's also our buddy. So
do we have
Cookie,
one?
Shout us out, brother.
Do we have one or both the D-Berry Bros coming?
As of now, I think it's both of us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
You mean all 3 of you, or?
Landon was never coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Landon isn't too keen on going to small shows at Lincoln Theater for whatever reason. But
different strokes.
Yeah, different strokes. But yeah, so yeah, leave us a voicemail. It says in the description, click here to leave us a voicemail. There's a link that let us know what songs you're looking forward to. What are some of your favorite songs from, you know, either Gabe Lee, Muscadine Bloodline, or American Aquarium? Well, we'd love to hear from you, and we'll respond to you next week. Go follow the YouTube channel at Cold Cans Country. You'll see the logo. Country and Cold Cans is available on YouTube now. And then give us 5 stars and a great review. That's the show this week. See you next time.
Take care, guys.